Video 333, alcohol free. Thanks for joining me. Today, tea. What are you drinking? Huh? Can't hear you. Say it again. Tasty. Well, here we go. I don't know what I'm going to read. Let's find out together. Because today it's not what you give up, but what you gain. What I gain, what you gain, what we gain. One reason people resist change is because they focus on what they have to give up instead of what they have to gain. Rick Goodwin. Thanks, Rick, for that quote. No, thanks, Annie, who wrote this book, who found that quote, who put it at the beginning of the chapter. As a participant in this experiment, us, you're obviously giving something up. Alcohol. You're giving up alcohol for 30 or 33 days. But there are two ways to look at it. Two ways. You could focus on how hard it is going to be and all the things you're going to have to give up and go without. I was going to see a band play today, and I was going to go by myself because some of my friends are not into local new bands in Sydney, just a local band I was going to go check out. The Australian music scene is going off at the moment. A lot of really good little local bands all through Australia. Ooh, something is happening. There's a sound emerging out of Australia, which is really cool. So I was going to go see this band, and I was going to stand at the back, and I realized, hang on, it'd be a young crowd, or it'd be this old guy at the back, and I'd be maybe a bit uncomfortable, and I'd want to fit in, so I'd want to have a drink to look like part of the crowd. I could have gotten a non-alcoholic drink, but I decided not to put myself in this situation because it's so new on this journey for me, and I stayed home instead. So maybe I should have went. I will see this band again. I will. They're doing gigs in Sydney. That's where I am. But you should check out the Sydney and the Melbourne. Melbourne's going off in Australia with new bands. Give it a Google. And even Coachella had an Australian band, Amnil and the Sniffers. They're going off as well. Check out Amnil and the Sniffers if you didn't hear them at Coachella. Anyway, I should get back to this. I was saying that things you might have to give up. Well, I decided to give up going to the gig for now, but I won't be giving it up in the future. So just in this transition, I decided, no, I won't put myself in that situation. Anyway, you could focus on how hard it's going to be. Okay. Or you could think about all the amazing insights and experiences you're going to gain as a result of this experiment. Yes, so after I finish this, I might be able to go to a gig and have no alcohol and experience that. Because sometimes, especially big concerts, you don't want to be drinking too much because you can't get to the bathroom. So it'd be cool to be relaxed and not having to go to the bathroom and miss your favorite song. Well, I'm rambling. Get back to it, Paul. Well, we will all undoubtedly control our destinies through our expectations. In other words, we get what we expect. If we expect this experiment to be miserable, then that's what we're going to get. And so to make this a more pleasant experience, we have to change our thinking. We have to expect to go into this and experience it and have an amazing epiphanies and maybe have better health, higher energy levels, and systematic shifts in our thinking. That's what we get from this video series as you listen along and journey with me. How do we do it? Why? We decide to focus on the positive. Apparently, it's that simple. You might feel weird at first focusing on all the good things that's going to happen, especially if you're skeptical that it won't. Are you skeptical? I'm skeptical. We'll find out. But when you shift your thinking to what you will gain, the good things will come. Focus on the good things. They will truly come. They will. So the benefits, this is Annie speaking. For me, I lost 13 pounds in the first 30 days. My marriage has never been better. And I've finally started doing all the things I wanted to do for years and years. Things alcohol kept me from doing, such as starting a business, writing a book. She wrote a book. Creating a mindfulness practice. I'm into that too. And it has affected my mindfulness practice. And building a strong family life. I've become much happier socially because I've never worried about what I said the night before. I've become much more successful. I think I look significantly better. She said to take a photo before and after with this book. Well, I can look at the video. We'll see. Tell me, do I look sexier on this last video? My eyes are clearer. My hair is thicker. But these are my stories, she says. What about other people who've gone through this experiment? What have they gained? Here's a short list from other alcohol experiment participants. So they said they gained clear-headed mornings, a better health, less anxiety, true relaxation, better relationships, self-love, a happier family life, and freedom to fully participate in life. Participate rather than just be an observer. Pay attention to our language. So how exactly do you focus on the positive? The easiest way to do it is to pay attention to your language, the words coming out of your mouth, saying something like, I can't drink. That's actually negative. It sends all the wrong messages to your subconscious brain box because it leaves you feeling deprived and thinking about something you can't do. On the other hand, saying, I'm going to enjoy drinking iced tea tonight, or I really love this lemonade. I'm really enjoying this cup of tea. It's saying the same thing, but in a different way. You're telling yourself you're not going to drink alcohol, but you're doing it in a positive way. You're giving your subconscious the message that you're going to enjoy what you're going to do instead of that you're deprived and you can't do something. Saying, I'm giving up alcohol for the month, actually also sends negative messages to your subconscious. But saying, I'm experimenting to see how much better I feel. It's a difference. Positive phrasing sends all the right messages and will help you be more successful. So we'll do that. We'll try and say things in a positive way. So we'll be mindful about how we talk. Okay? You don't have to do this experiment. Yeah, we get to. You have the opportunity to do this. And yeah, let's be excited about it. We are choosing, come on, we're choosing. Recognize your old disempowering words around alcohol and replace them with new empowering words. This is important. The brain loves anything that gets you out of pain and into pleasure. It's wired that way, to run away from pain. And, ooh, I need some pleasure. It loves to shift both consciously and subconsciously, so choose the words you want to use. I'm going to enjoy this iced tea. Your brain's like, oh, I can't wait tonight. When you start consciously choosing your words, you'll even start to get a little buzz, especially if you reinforce the statement by saying something like, I'm going to enjoy some iced tea tonight. That's weird. I just said that, and now she wrote it. She's writing this book as we're reading it. The pen is on the page as we're doing this video. Reinforce it by actually feeling it. So go into your body and feel like, yeah, I'm going to enjoy the iced tea tonight. Wow, I did enjoy that iced tea tonight. Now, it's repeating itself. Let's get back. The brain will latch onto the experience and repeat it more easily the next time. Repeat it. Repeat it more easily the next time. Labeling. Another type of language you'll want to pay attention to is how you're labeling yourself to others. There's a ton of research showing how labels can actually limit your experience. When you put a label on something, we create a corresponding emotion and feeling based on that belief and experiences. That's especially true when we label ourselves and say, oh, I'm depressed, I'm an alcoholic. It's true we might be suffering, but by labeling, putting a name badge on, we are and become those things. We ingrain the negative feelings and end up believing them subconsciously. It might take a little while to start catching yourself, focusing on the negative and unnecessarily labeling yourself with that name, sticker. But keep at it. Rip it off. If you catch yourself once a day, it's a great start. Got a lot of stickers on myself. Over time, we'll get better and even better at it. And you'll develop ways to reprogram your language and be more positive naturally. Our brain will do it, creating a habit. Your brain will tend to just do what it did before. You made a decision so many times, your brain thinks it's the best decision to make. Don't be surprised if people start noticing and telling you how happier and upbeat you seem. That was a snare hit. Beat. That's because you are happier and upbeat when you expect to be, and when you use language to reinforce the idea. You'll actually end up feeling and acting that way if you keep reinforcing it to yourself. Catching those negative statements. It's like abracadabra, meaning that saying abracadabra means as I say, so it be. So what we speak out, you hear yourself saying and you end up believing that. The power of positive. Staying positive is one amazing tool you can use to stay alcohol free for the next few weeks and even beyond. If if we choose. Positive thinking and believing in yourself are helpful, but also talking about how you use words in sentences. Psychologists have studies and show how our brains process negative statements and found that the way a sentence is constructed affects brain activity. Negative constructions can cause higher levels of activity, which means you have to actually think harder. Let's keep this easy, please. Let's keep this easy. If we don't have to think hard about drinking, the experiment will be less stressful. So if someone asks, would you like a drink? You could answer negatively and say, no, thanks, I'm not drinking tonight. Or you could answer positively and say, yes, I'd love a club soda with a twist of lime. I'd love a drink, a club soda. By speaking with positive statements, your subconscious mind isn't triggered into activity. It's happy. It believes you enjoy drinking, and so you're enjoying it. You enjoy that club soda even more. It happens to be a non-alcoholic drink this time because you chose it. How we talk changes our experiences. Furthermore, according to Albert Ellis, whoever he is, she's about to tell us, one of the fathers of modern psychology, how we talk about what is happening to us and around us actually changes our emotions around our experiences. One of the most powerful things I want you to learn in this experiment is that how much more in control of your life than you realize. That we are way much more in control of we are way much more in control of our lives. Say that, Paul. Way much more in control of our lives than we realize. Sure, it takes practice and awareness to begin to shape our emotions and experiences through our language, specifically the language we use when speaking to ourselves. But hey, it's worth it. I honestly can't believe the changes that have happened inside me once I learned the importance of how to talk to myself, talk to yourself, and talk to myself. The words I use, and actually even the tone. Let's do ourselves a favor. Over the next few days, start to pay attention to how you speak to yourself. Ask yourself, would you talk to a stranger like that? Would I say those things to the little old lady sitting on the bus stop? What about someone you consider a friend? Would you say it to them? Or a child? That's child. The little grandma she's sitting down on the bus. She's smaller. It's a pretty big child. Listening to your inner voice. You may find it hard to hear your inner voice. If that's the case, do this. Instead, focus on those emotions. When you start to feel anxious, upset, or stressed, or some other negative emotion, use that as a signal to pausing, and reflecting on what you were just thinking or saying to yourself. How we speak to ourselves has a huge impact on our emotions. This is true not only around drinking, but in all areas of our lives. Studies show that the majority of most people's thinking is negative and destructive. Be nice to yourself. However, since our inner dialogue is constant, we are actually not aware of it. The next time you start to feel badly about yourself, I want you to stop. Notice the words you have just been thinking or to yourself. Maybe even write them down and then ask yourself, was that nice? Am I being nice to myself? Was it helpful? Was it something you would say to someone you really love? Was it even something you would say to a complete stranger, like she was saying? Take time every day to listen to your inner dialogue and consciously try to speak to yourself with respect. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, mean to me, respect yourself. Like any habit, how you speak to yourself is unconscious, and it will take some conscious awareness to discover exactly what that inner dialogue consists of. But you can learn to speak to yourself as you would speak to someone you love. Learn to speak to yourself differently, and your entire life can actually change for the better. Today, observe your language patterns, both what you say out loud and that little self-talk in your head. And write down the words you're using. I'm talking to you instead. Do you use the same words over and over? The same words? Do they pop up? And are those words actually negative or positive? When you think about alcohol, do you feel sorry for yourself and tell yourself you are not able to drink? Or do you feel excited about this challenge and tell yourself, I don't have to drink, and I don't have to wake up with a hangover tomorrow. I'm choosing that. How are you treating yourself internally? Are the things you are saying to yourself generally helpful, or are they actually hurtful? Will they make up these days we're going and watching these videos? Will it make it more of a pleasant experience? Don't judge yourself for using negative language. Just notice it. It's about noticing. Instead, think of some ways you can turn the language around and make it more positive. Just notice it. And try and make it a fun exercise. What am I saying to myself? Day 2 reflections. My mindset has definitely changed, says Carl, after doing this. Everyone around me is still drinking and waking up with a hangover. This morning when I woke up, I found myself wondering, why would they do that to themselves? Why? Then I remembered, oh yeah, I used to do that to myself too. It was so strange, truly not being able to comprehend why people would possibly ingest poison, knowing that they would wake up feeling like shit. He said shit. Thanks, Carl. Keeping it real. Morgan said, I feel a change happening inside me, and I feel confident in myself again. Or actually, maybe for the first time. I feel like there is hope for the future, and there is so much to learn and ways in which I can grow and simply experience being human. Whoa. Go for it, Morgan. There you go. Self-talk. Trying to catch what we say to ourselves and shifting it into a positive. This is not a punishment, but an opportunity. We're going to have an opportunity, and we'll see how we go. I'm still here. I'll be doing these daily, and come along with me. I didn't go to the gig tonight, so I missed out on that. And maybe I could have had fun, and I could have maybe had that club soda standing there. They wouldn't know. Could have got lemon, lime, and bitters, and they wouldn't know what I'm drinking. Got a virgin cocktail, and they go, look at that old man in the corner. We've got all the young kids dancing and moshing in the middle. Yeah, they wouldn't even notice me. I'm not as important as I think I am. They wouldn't even be. Why do I think? See, that's a thinking right there. Why am I thinking negatively that they will be judging this me, and I'm pointing myself? Why calling myself an old man? Because I used to play in bands when I was young, and I used to be in that scene, and I think when I go to those things, I see, wow, that's what I was like when I was young. And I think I distanced myself from the age gap. It affects me. It wouldn't even affect them. When I was their age, I'd be like, awesome, look at that guy, he's still rocking. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll think like that now. I'm the cool dude who's still rocking. He didn't give up. He's still punk as fuck. Ooh, I'm like, what's his name? Carl. I'm like, Carl and keeping it real. What's his name, Carl? Yes, it was Carl. I got it right. See, my memory's still there. Yeah. Gonna keep it punk. And I'll be like, I'm there. Still rocking out. Enjoying new bands. And the sound, like I was saying before, coming from Australia. So look at that. What we think. Catch yourself, like I just did then. And what other ways, what other things do you say? Listen, when you feel, because I did feel an emotion. I was like, oh, I don't want to be awkward in the back. Now, I'm not awkward at the back. I'm living life and having fun. And those kids, kids, they're not kids. They're at the pub, so they're not kids. Those younger people will be like, yeah, hope I'm still rocking it out at that age. I didn't give up to the corporate system, because they're all uni students ready to change the world with their music. Check it out. Anyway, I'll stop my rambling, and I'll see you tomorrow. Keep journeying with me. If this is the first video, there's another 2 before this. Start from here, keep going. And that's about it. Cheers. Cheers. Have another drink with me. Ready? Cheers. Bye.